What's up, my loyal followers? It is I, Simone Fan 101, and I am back from the abyss. No, not abyss from TNA. I mean, and the actual abyss. Um. Anyways, sorry I haven't been able to upload any videos, but I've just been busy with college. College has been a real pain in my ass. Now that college is over and I got the whole summer off, I have a lot more time to upload videos, which is exactly what I am going to do. Um, so this is my Wrestlemania review. Now, I don't even have like a paper, because usually I have like as you guys know, I have like a piece of paper with the card on it of whatever's going on. Um, and God, it's just been a whirly whirl, but but it's WrestleMania, so I'm gonna try to remember the card as much as I possibly can. If I'm missing any match, or if any matches are out of order, just be real that I'm going off pure memory here. Now, the first match was, there was 11 matches. 3 of them were on the pre-show. The first match was Kalisto versus Ryback. Kalisto defending the United States Championship. And the match itself was an okay match. It wasn't a... Ow. I hate it when I do that to my hair. It wasn't a bad match. But you could tell that these guys weren't given a lot of time to do what they would usually be good at. It was just sad. And another sad thing is that compared to all the other matches, not a lot of people saw this match. Keep in mind it was a pre-show match, but also keep in mind the fact that when the match aired or happened when people were just trying to get into the arena. So instead of the feeling you were in front of 93 to 94,000 fans, which is the actual attendance, by the way, believe it or not. It's not 101,000 like they claim. They're lying to you. So there was little to no crowd reaction because there was little to no crowd. There was problems trying to get people to their seats. You can go on the Saw Monster Sounds Off podcast. When they were talking about it, they talked about it themselves. So yeah. So it was an okay match. Kalisto won. He won against Ryback, so nothing too much there. Just okay at best. The next match was boring as all hell. It was the Usos versus, I believe, the Dudley boys. This match went maybe 5 minutes or more. I have no idea. But it was short. It was boring. It was a boring-ass match. And I just wouldn't recommend watching it. It was just boring. No other word I can come up for it. It was boring. It bored me to tears. So Usos won. And then we ended with, I think it was a double table spot where the Usos both made top splashes to Devon and Bubba on the tables. Seriously, bring back Bully Ray. If you're gonna treat the Dudley boys like this, just bring back Bully Ray. Bully Ray from TNA. God. The third match, and this one at times bored me even more. It was Team Bad and Blonde versus Team Total Divas. Again, I hate this entire Divas notion because the Divas can suck a cock. Team Total Divas consisted of Captain Brie Bella and Natalya, Alicia Fox. Well, not Naomi. God. Who else is on that shitty show? Eva Marie, which really fucking pissed me off because they expect us to buy Eva Marie as a face, even though she got booed out of. Yeah, she got boring, but she got booed out of pretty much every place she's been in, including NXT. She's got NXT Eva Marie heat, like go away heat. Like we don't want you here. Legit don't want you here. So it was Brie Bella, Natalya, Alicia Fox, Eva Marie, and somebody else. I forget who. Oh God, who was it? Damn, I forgot. Whoever the fuck that fifth member is, against Team Bad and Blonde, which was Naomi, Tamina, Summer Rae, somebody else I don't care to remember, and Lana. This was Lana's first ever in-ring match, and she was okay. She looked fine. But obviously, she's not a real in-ring wrestler, so she needs work. So Team Total Divas won, and of course to join in the celebration, because this was Brie Bella's last match. She's retired. She's gonna spend her life with Daniel Bryan. So as they were celebrating in the ring, Nikki Bella came out, did the yes thing with the neck brace still on. I don't even think she needed the neck brace, but they had it on her anyways, I guess to invoke sympathy. Obviously, the only reason why people would ever cheer is because Brie Bella is Daniel Bryan's wife. I mean, she's not that likable. Like, I hear she's a better person than Nikki, but then again, Nikki's a shitty person anyways. I'll bet you she's used backstage politics being John Cena's girlfriend to do shit, because she's fucking John Cena's girlfriend. She's humping that shit. But yeah, so that's how that ended. And before we get on to the WrestleMania card, before the Divas tag team match, it's the last time they're going to use Divas. Thank God, except for Total Divas, because that can go fuck itself. Total, more like total fuck you. But before that, Lita presented the new WWE Women's Championship, which sadly they said it was the first WWE Women's Championship. I guess the title they unified with the Divas title just 5.5 years earlier. It doesn't get a pass. It doesn't get mentioned. Dickholes. So, it's a new WWE. It's not continuing the line of the original Women's Championship, but you could have just said that. It's a new WWE Women's Championship, complete with a different line of people. What the fuck? You could have just said that instead of saying it's the first. We're not fucking idiots, Vince McMahon, and I know it was him that did it because he fucking scripts it. The buck starts and stops with Vince. So, if he wants you to say something, you're probably going to say it. And another thing I had a little problem with, and it's not probably me, it's probably just me personally or a couple other people, but I did have like a little nagging doubt that, sorry about that. I was getting the feeling, Lita's an important part of the women's past, but when I think of the women's division, when I think of like the big dogs back in the last 15 years, I don't think of Lita. I think of Trish Stratus. My question is, why wasn't Trish presenting this award instead of Lita? I get Lita still with a company, and Trish it really isn't, but you could have just easily have called Trish on the phone, say, hey, we want you, the biggest of your generation of women, to pass the torch of the Women's Championship. The new one. So why didn't you just do that instead of having... Look, I like Lita. I do. I like Lita. But Trish Stratus should have done it more, because she was really what personified the women's division back in the early 2000s. So there was that. Now we get on to the actual WrestleMania card. The pyro and everything. Fucking Three Stooges on commentary. JBL, Byron Saxton, and Cole. They annoyed me to no end. Especially JBL because I know he's a heel, but seriously, he fucking insults pretty much everybody, including Saxton. And look, I get that Saxton is just going to become a joke, but it's getting so fucking annoying with JBL on commentary. It's just bullshit. Anyways. I have no idea what Anyways, the first match was a ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship between Kevin Owens, the defending Intercontinental Champion, Sami Zayn, why was I about to say Dean Ambrose? I can't remember, for fuck's sake. Sami Zayn, Dolph Ziggler, The Miz, Stardust, Zack Ryder, and Sin Cara. So it was between those guys, and I'm just sitting here thinking, this really should have been Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens, a singles match. Now, believe it or not, even though we should have gotten that, we did get it a month later at Payback, which I will review Payback pretty soon. It was a great ladder match with a surprising winner, Zack Ryder. Okay, now keep in mind, guys, for the exception of the pre-show, because that was the don't care, but for my predictions, this was one of the best in-ring years for a WrestleMania, but it wouldn't be in that upper echelon because the booking fucking sucked. The booking was absolutely shit-tastic. And the first winner was Zack Ryder, and I was like, okay, it should have been either Owens or Zayn, but Zack Ryder, after all the shit that they put him through for 4 years after he got over on his own, all of a sudden for him to win the IC title, I'm like, okay, I know it makes absolutely no sense, but Zack Ryder as Intercontinental Champion would have been fun to see. Yeah, too bad the next night on Raw they had the fucking Miz win the title because of Maurice. And while I like the duo of Miz and Maurice, build that up. Give Zack Ryder a few months because Zack Ryder deserved it. He needed that little pat on the back, and not just for one day, for a few months. I prefer a Zack Ryder title reign than a Miz title reign, but that's just me. Maybe I'm talking out of my ass. After that, we had AJ Styles versus Chris Jericho. First of all, this was a great match. I don't know what some people are saying online, thinking that it's just okay. It was a great match. What the fuck is wrong with you people? Okay, continue on from that. Great match. We had several near falls here, but the problem with this match again was the ending. The fucking ending. Okay, so Styles Clash. AJ Styles is on the apron on the outside. He's doing this, like trying to get the crowd up. So something's gonna go wrong. Sure enough, it did. He was going for the Styles, the phenomenal forearm, and instead, when he went off the top rope, Chris Jericho countered and hit a code breaker. And he beat Styles on WrestleMania. In Styles' first WrestleMania match, he gets beaten by Chris Jericho. Why? Why? I mean, seriously. Why did Styles have to lose? I'm not saying this because Styles is my favorite wrestler and he should win every single match. I never said that. But it's Styles' first WrestleMania. He goes up against a guy who constantly puts people over him, and yet he still remains pretty big and somewhat of a challenge. But why did Styles have to lose here? Especially if, again, the next night on Raw, and this is what happened. The next night on Raw. Styles, in a Fatal 4-Way match for the number one contendership for the WWE title, ended up pinning Jericho in a Fatal 4-Way. 50-50 booking strikes again. Bullshit. Nobody got over here. Oh, God. Next, Oh god, I don't even remember. No, I know what was next. I think it was now. Okay, guys, this is where my memory goes a little bit iffy in terms of the matches, so just bear with me. Next, I think was New Day versus League of Nations. Originally, it was gonna be a. I kept on hearing several things because they never told us anything about what this match was actually gonna be. Was it gonna be a WWE Tag Team Title match? If there was going to be 3 members from each team, at least, not likely. So I deduced that. But then I kept on hearing it was a 4-on-3 match with all 4 members of League of Nations, which was King Barrett, Sheamus, Rusev, and Alberto Del Rio against the New Day, which would be Xavier Woods, I was about to say Tyler Breeze. No, Tyler Breeze as one of the New Day. That actually would help his career right now. Yeah. Big E, Kofi Kingston, and Xavier Woods against League of Nations. Already mentioned their names. Instead, we just got a 3-on-3 tag team match. Now, I like this match, and I like the entrances too. I really like the entrances to most of the wrestlers on this show. But the problem with this show was that, the problem with this show, guys, was that the booking was fucking horrible. Okay, let's see who won. Who won? The League of Losers won. The League of Assholes won this match. And I'm like, okay, if they're going something to the League of Nations, that's fine. However, it became obviously clear why the League of Nations won. Because after the match, after a 9-minute, it was an okay match, but only okay. Sorry, the fan's on. It's fucking ruining my throat. There we go. So, after League of Nations won, they cut a promo saying that they're the greatest group of wrestlers ever. Out comes Shawn Michaels, out comes Mick Foley, and out comes Stone Cold Steve Austin. It was abundantly clear why they did this. And look, here's the thing. I love Shawn Michaels. I love Steve Austin. I love Mick Foley. But this was bullshit. Why? Because I'll tell you why it was BS. Because League of Nations won over New Day just so they can get their asses kicked by HBK, the Rattlesnake, and Ms. Foley's baby boy. It's just fucking... Nobody got over here. No, the most over people were the guys that were retired. That's who got over. Although I will say one thing. Shawn Michaels came out in his in-ring gear. He came out in his gear. I'm just like, Shawn Michaels lost a lot of weight. He got skinny. He got built. I'm just thinking, like, if Shawn Michaels could come back today to wrestle a match, he'd probably knock it out of the fucking park. Why? Because he's Shawn Michaels. He can do that. The next match was, God, what was it? It was, I think it was Dean Ambrose versus... Yeah, it was Dean Ambrose versus Brock Lesnar in a no DQ match. Basically like an Extreme Rules match. And, okay, I will say I liked this match, but it wasn't great. It wasn't on the level of Styles and Jericho. It wasn't on the level of the women's match, which I'll get to. And, yeah. And it wasn't on the level of the ladder match. So, this was a good match, but disappointing as hell. Why? It went 12 minutes. It went like 12 minutes and change. That's how long it went. This was disappointing. It was Dean Ambrose being thrown around like a rag doll. And guess who won? Again, someone who didn't need to win here. Brock Lesnar. I love Brock Lesnar, but he needed to... He hadn't been pinned in 3 years by this point, which was Triple H at WrestleMania 29. Yeah, funny enough, it's Triple H. We know the joke there. Get his win back. Lesnar for 3 years had never been pinned. He got submitted at SummerSlam last year, but that was kind of a bullshit ending. But Lesnar's never been straight up pinned in a match. Even if he lost, he's never been pinned. So, you have that going for him. You have Dean Ambrose, who needed this win badly, and what happened? He lost. He lost like a jabroni. Why? Why did this guy have to lose? And Lesnar won instead. 1 F5 on the chair. 1, 2, 3. Lesnar's the winner. Why? Why? And oh god, it was a good match, but wrong person went over. And considering who was involved, there should have been more violence. Next match was, I believe this was the women's match. It was Charlotte, who came in as the Divas Championship, but this was the last time the Divas title would ever be seen. Instead, this was for the quote-unquote first women's championship. Like I said, that was bullshit. That's a bullshit line. The women's championship, it was a triple threat match between Charlotte, Sasha Banks, and Becky Lynch. First of all, let me say this right now. Best match on the night. This was the best match on the night. By far. Well, not by far. Styles and Jericho came close, but this was the best match of the night. These women tore it up. These women stole the show. Which basically throws it in Vince's face saying, hey, we're worth a damn. Do something with us. Which is exactly what they're going to do. Now, and this is a great match. There was a couple of dives by Sasha and by Charlotte. Moonsault off the top rope. But yet again, I think the wrong person went over here. For many of us, we all thought, and still do think, that Sasha... I hate when my mouth does that. That Sasha Banks should have won that match. Instead, what happened is Charlotte had the figure 8 on Becky Lynch. Sasha came in to break it up, but then Ric Flair physically got involved and prevented Sasha from getting in the ring and breaking it up. Therefore, Charlotte is your new and, I guess, still champion and new WWE Women's Champion. It really should have been Sasha Banks. I mean, God, it really should have been her. It should have been the boss. But the boss did not win. At this point, I figured that they were fucking trolling us. They were trolling us with their win, with the booking of the show. The next match, let's see. There was the ladder match. There was the League of Nations New Day. There was Styles and Jericho, Lesnar, the women. Next match was Undertaker versus Shane McMahon. Now, this was by far the longest match of the night. And I think it could have been shaved a few minutes. But they did good to build tension. And it was a really good match. The stipulation of the match was that if Undertaker loses, he retires. If Shane loses, he doesn't get control of... He has no control of Monday... Well, he loses the lockbox or whatever it is. Nothing is looming over Vince's head. And Shane gets absolutely no power in WWE. And The Undertaker won. Now, look, I would have no issue with this if Shane McMahon was gone, or at least made one more appearance in like the night after and then left, and Undertaker would have a match probably against John Cena next year, or maybe against somebody else, someone who actually needs it, because John Cena doesn't fucking need it. God, it's just... Ooh, hold on a second, guys. Oh, there we go. So, I wouldn't have no problem with this ending if it wasn't for the fact that the follow-up. Undertaker loses, yet he is the one. Undertaker wins, Undertaker wins the match, yet he's the one that leaves his gloves in the ring and walks to the back, signifying his possible retirement. Yet Shane McMahon lost, and yet he's running Monday Night Raw now, along with Stephanie McMahon, as we speak. This makes no fucking sense. Bullshit. Bull fucking shit. Look, I love Shane McMahon. I'd love to have him on here. But we know that because Undertaker lost, also, if Undertaker loses, the authority is gone. Except Undertaker won. So we're going to get some authority bullshit. In a few months, I'm predicting, soon we're going to get Triple H back on TV. I just don't get it anymore. I don't care almost. Although I will say, one big part of this match that was awesome, Shane McMahon diving off this Hell in a Cell to try to do an elbow off Undertaker, and Undertaker moved out of the way. It was just Shane McMahon crashed through the table. The man's got some brass balls. This Shane McMahon has absolutely no fear. I applaud you, Shane. You certainly proved your worth as a man. Now, after that, we had the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, which was an okay match. It wasn't worth all that much, except for the fact that Shaq came out. And he was the only... He actually was a little bit taller than the Big Show, believe it or not. And both of them got eliminated. Although I will say, if anybody deserved to win here, it was the guy who actually did win, which was Baron Corbin. He made his debut at WrestleMania 32 in the Battle Royal, and he won. Which was a good thing that he won. Now, at least they put somebody over here. Somebody young who needed it. Instead of Big Show last year. That was bullshit. But the next match. Oh, God. This is the next in a line of matches that Triple H has. This is Triple H. Okay. This is the fourth time that Triple H has failed to follow up an Undertaker match, as well as the fourth time that Triple H has had a mediocre as fuck main event. So Triple H this is a mediocre main event. It was okay. It wasn't bad, but it was only okay at best. It was like 2.5 stars, kind of okay. So Triple H and Roman Reigns had a long-ass match. They didn't need a long-ass match. They needed a short brawl instead of... Don't have a wrestling match. Triple H is an idol. Triple H idolizes Ric Flair, and he tries to do everything that Ric Flair does. Problem is, Triple H is not Ric Flair. So he can't do the things that Ric Flair could have when in his prime. So it's just like, why? Stop trying to be Ric Flair and just be Triple H the Brawler. Which is kind of what he is. So, this is, and let me name the 4 times for each category. This is the fourth main event of WrestleMania that has been disappointing. WrestleMania 2000, because it really should have been him and The Rock. WrestleMania 18, because it followed Hogan and Rock, and no way he and Jericho were ever going to follow Hogan and Rock. WrestleMania 25 with Randy Orton, because, that was because it followed Undertaker and Shawn Michaels. And there was 2 more matches afterwards. It was the triple threat between Cena, Edge, and Big Show, and Triple H and Orton. And no way in hell either of those matches were going to top Undertaker and Shawn Michaels. It's one of the best WrestleMania matches of all time. One of the best matches of all time. And now this year, as far as following an Undertaker match, WrestleMania, well, not WrestleMania 21 or 22. Yeah, several times this guy got upstaged by The Undertaker at WrestleMania. There was this year, which was Yeah. But yeah, where Triple H was high on the card, but Undertaker upstaged him. There was this year, Undertaker and Shane McMahon, which told a great story. It wasn't a great match. It was a really good match. Not a great match, but it told a great story. There was WrestleMania 29 with Undertaker and CM Punk, and no way Triple H and Lesnar was going to follow. WrestleMania 25 with, again, Undertaker and Shawn Michaels. No way Orton Triple H is going to follow. 24, 23. Yeah, Triple H is not WrestleMania 23. I'm just going off memory here, guys. So 24, he got upstaged by Taker in the main event, but Taker was in the main event. I guess you could say WrestleMania 21 because Randy Orton and Undertaker, although that happened way earlier in the show, before Cena and JBL, and that was even worse than because Triple H and Batista was actually pretty good. 2019, I guess you could say WrestleMania 18 because of Undertaker and Ric Flair. That was pretty good as well. But then again, they got more upstaged by Hogan and Rock. So yeah, that's like the third or fourth time he's been upstaged by Undertaker. So damn, this guy really has a bad track record of being upstaged at WrestleMania. So yeah, one of the big pops of this match, I will say, was that Roman Reigns speared Stephanie. Roman Reigns came out to thunderous boos. Triple H came out to a bunch of cheers, and then Roman Reigns won. People booed him out of the arena. Oh yeah, I forgot. Dumbass. I forgot. I need to talk about this. Before the main event, The Rock came out for a promo to announce that it was 101,000 people at WrestleMania, even though it was closer to 94,000, which is the legit record. That they did a legit break a record, but instead they got 94,000 instead of 101. WWE likes to do that a lot. So Rock was there. Then the Wyatt family came out to interrupt The Rock. Rock under his clothes, happened to be in his ring gear. He pinned Erick Rowan in 6 seconds for the shortest match in WrestleMania history. So that will forever be cemented in history that The Rock beat Erick Rowan. And then, as the Wyatt family were about to gang up on him, this was right before the Wyatt family turned face. Or at least Bray Wyatt turned face. John Cena came out for the save, and, everything's hunky-dory now. This was a waste of 20 minutes. Honestly, this time should have been at least shaved off a little bit and given to Lesnar and Ambrose. Why wasn't this given to Lesnar and Ambrose? Because WWE likes having their dick in their hands. That's why. So yeah, and then we got the Reigns Triple H match. That ended the show with enormous boos. Great in-ring wrestling. Shitty booking. I got no words. I got no fucking words. I will love the in-ring aspect, because these guys tried their damnedest, but with what they had. But in Lesnar and Ambrose cases, it wasn't given enough time, and in everyone else, and including that one and everyone else, the booking sucked. The only people, and let's look who actually went over and got the biggest moments. Undertaker, Shane McMahon, The Rock, John Cena, HBK, Austin, Foley. These are all old guys. You can even count Triple H if you want to. These are all old guys. Several of them whom are retired. Austin, HBK, and Foley, they're retired. Undertaker supposedly is retired. Shane McMahon doesn't wrestle full time. Neither does Triple H. And The Rock barely wrestles at all. Barely wrestles at all. And John Cena, of course, is the top guy, so of course he gets time. But the other guys, why? This only cemented the fact that in WWE's eyes, the older guys are stars and the newer guys suck. So yeah, that's another problem I have with the show. So I'm going to give this show a 7.5 out of 10. I cannot give it any lower because the in-ring aspect was so great. But that's the problem here. That was one of the only great parts. Instead, all the guys that should have won lost. Except for Roman Reigns, Baron Corbin, and that was about it. Yeah, Reigns and Corbin. And keep that in mind, Reigns and Corbin are two guys that Vince McMahon has his eye on. Starting to see the pattern? These are his chosen ones. The rest of them can go fuck themselves. That, in Vince's eyes, that's the case. So, 7.5 out of 10. It was still a good WrestleMania, but the booking was horrible. I will see you guys tomorrow with my Payback review. I'm going to review Payback tomorrow. I'm going to upload it, and it's going to be edited and everything. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later.